How to be in your feminine energy with a man. Hello ladies, thanks for tuning in. Before we start, please like and subscribe, and don't forget that if you are pretty, you have no problem getting dates, you have nice dates and all of that, men find you attractive, it's easy for you to get Tinder dates, matches and all of that. But when it comes to getting commitment, you struggle. I want to remind you that you can grab 3 chapters of my femininity guide, how to bag a high caliber man in 12 weeks. It's all in my description box. So this is the guide that I wrote for women like you who have no problem getting dates, who are more or less secure, but they have some friction when it comes to getting commitment with the men that they really like. So yeah, check it out. It's free. So today I want to discuss how to be in your feminine energy with a man. So I want to start by giving the definition of feminine energy so that we all agree on the same thing, and at least you can understand my point. And then we're going to talk about why it's important for you to be in your feminine energy when dating. And I'm going to help you actually be in your feminine energy with a man. Okay, so let's get started. So, what is feminine energy? So I want to start by explaining something that I learned through copywriting. So for those of you who don't know what copywriting is basically writing persuasive copy. So for marketing and all of that, all the things that you bought so far were because the copy was persuasive. So I want to. So yeah, there is a story about me that I want to share. In the past, I wasn't a reader. Today, I read a lot of books and all of that, and I gathered a lot of knowledge. But in the past, it was hard for me to actually read books and call myself a reader. And as I grew up, there was one blog. Well, it was a web magazine, a feminist web magazine that I found online, and I completely fell in love with it because I loved how everything was written. And you see, the women who wrote it studied political science and all of that, economics and all of that, but the way they wrote was really like, light, funny, playful. They were talking about serious things, but the way it was written was so easy to read that I would go on that website almost every day to read. And that's something that you need to know. It's important actually, like if you're writing copywriting, the copy that persuades others the most, the copy that persuades your clients the most are copy that are written, with words that are easy to understand, that even a kid or a teenager can understand. And you see, I don't know if you know Steven Kotler, but he works with Mind Valley, and he said in a master class that he's a New York Times bestseller, and he says that every time he writes books, he pays attention to the vocabulary that he uses, and he has noticed something. He noticed that when he uses fancy words, it's because he didn't make enough research. So he makes sure that his editor let him know when the words he uses are too fancy, because he wants to write books that are easy to understand, and he wants to write books that are easy to understand and all of that. So you see, those people have PhD. They have PhD. They studied in fields that are very very impressive and all of that. But when they communicate what they know, they want most people to understand them easily. So they become intentional in the words that they use, and they make sure that even a teenager can easily understand what they try to convey. So you see, when it's intentional, it becomes powerful. And this brings me to the point that I wanted to make about femininity. Femininity is about inner power. So you see, when you're in your feminine energy, you know that you are powerful, but you don't need to show power in a way a man would show it. You see, I don't know if this is starting to make sense to you, but I want you to meditate on it at least. Okay, so feminine energy is about inner power. And that's also something that I learned about gentle parenting, is that many people think that when you are a gentle parent, it's about, being weak, but that's not that. Gentle parenting is about incredible inner strength. That's the same thing about femininity. Okay, it's inner strength, and that's something that you need to work hard on. You need to work hard on being patient, on being compassionate, because those things don't come naturally. And I'm thinking about the things that impress me actually about others. It's not their achievement, it's how committed they are into working on their character. So how committed are you into working on your feminine energy? Okay, so yeah, feminine energy is also softness. And again, it's not about being weak, it's about inner power. It's intentional. So you choose to be soft. You choose to be compassionate. You choose to be playful. Even though you are a top CEO, even though you make 6 or 7 figures, you choose to be playful. You choose to be soft. You choose to make others feel important. Okay? So this was my first point. Now I want to talk about why it's important for you to be in your feminine energy with a man. So you need to know that we all have masculine and feminine energy, and they are both important. Both energies are important. But when you come in the dating scene, the thing that you need to show mainly is your feminine energy. And just like for the guy, the side of himself that he needs to show mainly is his masculine energy. It's attractive for a man to have a bit of feminine energy, in the sense like, let's say he's a top executive and all of that, but at the same time he can also be very gentle and very compassionate and all of that. And those attributes are usually in in women, in feminine women. But when he has that side of himself, it makes him even more attractive. You see, that's the reason why men like Mathieu say are attractive to most women, because they are top executives. Men like him are handsome and all of that, but at the same time they're also kind. They have they care about kindness, they have compassion, they are gentle and all of that. So you see, the fact that they are handsome, successful and all of that, and at the same time they're also kind, compassionate, patient with others and all of that, it makes them even more attractive, you see. So yeah, you need to be mainly feminine with a little bit of masculine traits. When you are able to show up like that in the dating scene, you make yourself magnetic. And then you need to dial up on the feminine energy, but it needs to be on things that the kind of men you want value. Okay? And when it comes to your masculine side as well, it needs to be things that make you more attractive to the kind of men that you want to attract, and to yourself, obviously. So yeah, you need to be in your feminine energy when you date, because that's what's gonna attract the guy. And not just because it makes you attractive, but it's also because you're gonna allow him, you're gonna make space for him to be in his masculine energy. Your guy will fall for you when he feels like, okay, with her I can actually be a man, with her I can express my masculine energy. Because you see, when you are in your masculine energy and he wants to express his masculine energy as well, it won't work. They're going to have some friction because you don't allow him to express his masculine energy. And I know why you are in your masculine energy when you date. It's because you aren't trusting. You aren't trusting that it's possible for a great guy to fall for you. You know that it's easy for you to have sex. You know that it's easy for you to have great dates. You know that it's easy for you, to meet successful men and all of that, because you had in the past. But what's hard for you is trusting that actually a great guy can actually fall for you and give you princess treatment, and also commit deeply. You need to start trusting. By the way, if you want to start working on how to get commitment with high value men, when you know that you're already pretty, when you know that you don't struggle, having compliments, having great men hitting on you and all of that, but you only have frictions when it comes to getting commitment, I want to invite you to join my free challenge. And for that, you need to DM me on Instagram at High Value Queens. So we can already get started here in this podcast. So how to actually be in your feminine energy when you date a guy. So the first step is recognizing that, yeah, if you're honest with yourself, you tend to be in your masculine energy when you date. So maybe you are the one initiating with the guy. Maybe you are the one proposing the date. Maybe you fall in love first, actually, because that's the thing that shows that you're in your masculine energy, is when you fall for the guy first. If you want things to work, he needs to fall for you first. You want to go too fast when you date a guy. So when you see that, he's a top CEO, top executive, and all of that, in your head is already like, okay, I want to get married, I want kids within the first 5 minutes. And you see, this scares the guy away. You can't be desperate for commitment like that, and you don't even know him. Get to know him first, but like truly know him. Start to actually like him as a person before thinking about commitment. You see, because when you are like that and you show up like, okay, I want commitment today, he thinks, okay, she's desperate. And you see, men aren't attracted by women who are emotionally desperate. Just like you aren't attracted by men who are sexually desperate. Think about it. When you meet a guy that you find initially handsome, and then he wants to sleep with you super fast, you think, okay, this guy is just sexually desperate. He just wants sex, and then he will disappear. You see, the same thing happens when you show up like that and you show that you want commitment today just because it looks good on paper. I want you to understand how men fall in love. Their heart and their brain needs to say the same thing. This is the reason why you see some men talk about some women and they say, "Oh, she's so wonderful. I want to." The women that they date, but not seriously. Like, yeah, she's so wonderful. I want to marry a woman like her one day, but right now I just can't commit to her. And you might think, oh, it's because they aren't ready, but that's not that at all. It's because that girl looks good on paper. She's sweet, kind, pretty, and all of that. But emotionally, it's not clicking because the girl isn't in her feminine energy. You see? And so this is their brain saying, okay, she's great, nice, hot body, sweet, very kind, and all of that. But their heart isn't falling for those women because those women are disconnected from their feminine energy. They're desperate for commitment. You see, men need to know that to have commitment with you, that's something they need to work hard for, and you don't give it lightly. Have you noticed how it's hard for, well, not hard, but have you noticed how men don't commit? Well, a man with options, a man who is high value and all of that, he won't commit easily. You see, he's gonna hook up with you. He's gonna take you on nice dates. He's gonna buy you chocolate for Christmas and all of that. But if he's not in love, he won't commit to you. He will still leave doors open. He might delete Tinder when he knows that's gonna meet you and all of that, but you won't have a verbal commitment. And you're gonna think, oh, it's certainly because I live too far away from him. That's why he doesn't want to commit. No, it's never that. There are jobs everywhere. If he's successful and all of that, he knows that he can find a job easily just by making a few phone calls. It's never about a distance. Okay? It's about, is he in love or is not in love? That's it. So if you really want to know how to start getting commitment with the guys that you really, really like, again, I want to invite you to join my free challenge. We are done for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.